Hi guys, Dr. Kischa here. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today, we're going to be talking about how to fight fair when you're in an argument with your partner. Have you ever been in a disagreement with your partner where you've said or they said something or did something and just totally derailed the whole thing and there was no resolution? Well, today, we're going to be talking about some things to avoid so that you can get your point across and also reach a resolution with your partner. So stay tuned. First things first. Identify the issue and stick with the subject. Don't go back through your Bible of issues to support your argument. Stick with the here and now and exactly what the problem is. I know as women we can go back to March 21st from 2001 when he came home smelling like CK1 when we used Love Spell for Victoria's Secret just to prove a point that he can't be trustworthy. You should have addressed it then, not in February 2017, but then. That is so stressful. Keeping record of all of that and using up all that mental space and storage just to keep account of what he's doing or what she's doing. Let that stuff go. If you didn't address it then, don't use it in an argument now. Be clear when you're communicating your feelings. Give an account of what happened to make you upset. Don't use vague labels like, you don't respect me, but instead, tell your partner that you felt disrespected when they waved you away when you asked them a question. Your experience of the situation can help your partner gain perspective and also help them to see what they've done to help contribute to the problem. Don't hit below the belt. Some things are simply off limits. You are in a privileged situation where you know your partner's insecurities and vulnerabilities. Don't use that information against them. That's cruel, and the effects can be damaging. That stuff lingers, and that burrows a hole in your partner's mind. So stay away from saying things that you know will impact them deeply. There was one time during one of my couples therapy sessions where the husband and wife were going at it, and I should have known because the husband tried to warn me. I try to be a blank slate and come and be unbiased, but they were going at it. Actually, she was going at it. She was going at it by herself. She was upset about the intimacy and the relationship, and she was just going. It was like a tornado, and I was just sitting there, and I was like shocked. I was just looking like, I didn't know what to do. I had to kind of snap out of it. Remember, I was working, so I would just look for an opening. Anytime that she like took a breath, I was just trying to jump in there, and the husband was just sitting there looking at me and then looking at her, and she was just going and calling me names, and I was like trying to get in like I was playing double dutch, just trying to just wait for my opening. And then at the end of all that, the woman got up and was like, and the reason why I don't sleep with you is because you stink. I was like, what? And her husband kind of just looked there, and then she got up and left, and we were stuck in that room, me and her husband just looking at each other like, okay. And I just didn't know what to say. He just looked so defeated, and he just kind of slumped down and put his head down and looked so embarrassed that she just went there. And I had to kind of just console him and help pick up the pieces in that moment. But she hit low. She went below the belt, and it was indicative of the pattern that was going on in their relationship. So when you're in the midst of a heated discussion with your partner, refrain from saying things that you know will have a lasting impact. I know that it can be tough. Take a time out if you need to. Give yourself some space so you don't say something that you will later on regret. Don't label. When I say label, I mean don't call your partner crazy, lazy, neurotic, or psychotic. When you say stuff like that, you make it seem like they're that way 100% of the time. And if they were really like that 100% of the time, you wouldn't be with them. And if you would, then you got some thinking to do. But develop in your communication skills so that you can articulate to your partner how you're feeling. Use phrases like, you seem a little tense right now, or I can tell that you're irritated by what I just said. Don't label them and call them psycho in the middle of the argument. That's only going to fuel the fire and derail the whole argument. Keep your fights to yourself. There are exceptions when you employ a professional therapist, but try your best to seek wise counsel. And when I say that, stay away from your bitter Betty girlfriend and your womanizing homeboy. Don't share the details of your arguments with them. All they're going to do is give you bad advice, agree with your nonsense, and hold your hand right back onto single land. Don't trash talk your partner with your friends. I know it can be hard. We all vent. I vent. Everyone does it to get stuff off their chest. But if your venting includes name calling and death threats, then you need to reevaluate if you want to be in this relationship or not. Implement changes and have realistic expectations of one another. After you've discussed the issues, Put a plan in place. Each partner needs to communicate what they're willing to improve. You need to monitor the behavior by observation. Visual observation, not verbal, ladies. Don't nag that man to death. Just observe. And remember, everybody's not perfect. And sometimes slow change is lasting change. So if they're slowly decreasing the frequency of the problematic behavior, that's improvement. And just be patient for lasting change to take place. Like I said, nobody is perfect. Be flexible and willing to compromise. You need to give up the right to be right in the midst of some of these arguments, just for the sake of your relationship so that you can continue to have peace. That's something that I've had to really work on, and I think I'm still working on that, because I think I'm right all of the time. And sometimes I just have to bite my tongue and just realize, okay, you're gonna be wrong in this moment, but I'm still right. But I don't need to verbalize that all the time. So I have to give up the right to be right all of the time. Don't monopolize the conversation with your facts and opinions. Allow the other person to speak. Just like how you want to get your point across, give them time and space to get their point across as well. Those were some of my suggestions and quick tips of things that we need to avoid during a confrontation so that we can attack the issue and not our partner. If you need additional help, please don't hesitate to employ a professional therapist to help you and just tweak some of those communication patterns so that they can make a huge impact. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment below of some of the things that you do that make an argument with your partner run smoothly. Thanks so much, guys. Until next time, bye.